Welcome, everybody, to Super Gamecast Bros, Episode 2. I'm your host, Tad Risen, with the Teach, Kyle, and our guest is the number one Super Bro himself.
Number one.
The oldest, the bestest, Robin Risen. Yay! I'm so excited Robbie's here, because Robbie's going to be a regular with us a lot of the times. But we've got a whole bunch of things we want to go over today about video games and just what we love and what we've grown up talking and playing. So, a few things we wanted to go over. Obviously, THQ Nordic is doing some weird things going on. We've seen some weird stuff in the retro world, and personally, Cyberpunk, I'm super excited about it since our last show. We've seen some more footage. But what's everybody been playing? Robbie, what have you been playing since we haven't seen you in a minute?
I've been playing way too much for my wallet can handle. Been spending way too much money, but yeah, it started out with Formula 1, which came out in August. Having soccer back, I had to play a soccer game, so I got Pro Evolution.
Okay.
FIFA's not out yet, but I'll take a little bit of Pro Evolution, even though it's not. Some people argue it's not better than FIFA. It's
different.
It's got its pros and cons. I've been playing that a lot. I've been playing the Madden, which came out on PC. That also came out in August. Been playing a lot of that.
That's such a weird choice. Why again did you choose Madden on PC versus playing on console?
Because I'm married.
Oh, that's right. These two are in committed relationships. I don't really have that problem, but I do live with family, and it's kind of the same still, but I'm just shoved in a corner instead.
I'm not really a big TV watcher during the week. I do like to watch my sports and racing during the weekend, but she is. And I like to give her TV time, which means I can have my game time on my computer. And if I could play Madden on my computer.
Do you ever remote play to your laptop?
Rarely.
Rarely?
Yeah.
And it's so hit and miss, too.
It is.
The one time it'll be amazing, and then the next it'll be awful.
Yeah, that was August. Now, since September has rolled around, obviously the big purchase being Spider-Man, but also being a big racing fan, my heart was torn. I had Spider-Man, but also NASCAR coming out. And this was a step in the right direction for the new NASCAR game, which it definitely was. So I've been actually splitting my time during the weekend between Spider-Man
Their games aren't annual either.
Yeah, they are.
Are they?
The last 3 years with the NASCAR Heat reboot, it has been.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. For whatever reason, I thought they were. Because I remember when I was managing GameStops, they weren't every... Or they would do like an off-year, a normal game, and then like an arcade game.
For the last 5 or 6 years, there's been one every year.
Well, that was 10 years ago. I've moved on to better things.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a nice 5-year gap with no new NASCAR game, but now for the last like 5 or 6 years, there's been one every year.
And this is me personally. And I know it's not beneficial to these sports franchises when you can just put out a new title every year, but I would like there to be at a new launch. So like the next box comes out, right? You buy WWE, you buy NASCAR, you buy NFL or NCAA games, and then every year you just buy like a DLC patch. Here's the 2019 patch. So that way, if you want it, you could actually filter by year if you'd like certain players that maybe have retired or gotten injured or quit. And so you're always growing versus but that I think hence licensing issues, especially
that's
in
actually
wrestling.
Really funny because the new NASCAR game came out this past Friday.
Okay.
If you don't follow racing is pretty much February to November.
Yeah.
This is September.
It's a long season.
Toward the end of the season that this game is now coming out. Now, with this new reboot of NASCAR Heat, this is the third one that just came out. When the new season begins in February, they've always put out a new update of the new current cars in the DLC.
But isn't that just going to conflict with next year's game?
No, because they'll just come out with the next year's game. Exactly.
I feel very lost now. I don't want another game. Like, take a year off then. Make it better. Put a new engine in it.
But they actually have made it better. Each year I have found that they have made it better.
Okay.
Is it... So, like, did this year, do all the cars now have, like, cool air intakes? I'm sure they already do. But I don't...
No, they just updated the handling, added a new dirt series, and added a few more new tracks, which thank you for adding some short tracks, because I've been enjoying the short track dirt racing.
Once I get... living in Fantasyland over here, which I do 98% of the time, there's a part of me recently that has been looking at a lot of the racing games that that PlayStation VR is offering. That I'm actually becoming more intrigued by racing games because I want to put on a helmet, and I'm actually I am actually considering buying a wheel because I think it'd be awesome.
I've looked at
I think
those
it'd be
wheels.
awesome. Like, that's the way I want to race. I don't want to fly though. Because flying games drive me insane. Like, there's somebody that loves them and hates them all in the same breath. Because their controls are all screwy. Driving is driving. But flying a plane...
What's wrong with flying a plane?
I've actually flown a plane.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I did not know that.
I flew one of those, like, little four-seater, like, sticks of gum.
What?
Yeah. And so each plane, different types of planes also have different controls and have different types of G or whatever, you know? So there's that fear of, like, getting sick. And also, too, I hate when I play a flying game and you can't get out of the backwards controls. Like, if I'm playing a video game, I want to play a video game. Up is up. But when I'm flying a real plane, you pull back, you're going up.
And so when I'm flying, I don't mind the inverted controls because that's how
And it
flying
almost depends on the game too, because there is some games I've played inverted and I'm like,
That's
this feels
true.
perfect.
That's true.
Like GoldenEye. Go back and play it. It's inverted.
Is it really?
Yeah. I'm almost positive it is.
It's been forever since I've...
No, I think you're right.
Either way. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on that tangent there.
That's what I've been playing. It's like, what, 5-6 different games within like a month period. Plus, I got 2 more also coming out in August, racing titles. Plus, also...
What are you looking forward to?
V-Rally Fork is coming out in a few days. And then supposedly...
Those are supposed to be really good.
Yeah, that's why I'm interested in getting it. The Qatar Rally game is supposed to be coming out at the end of the month.
Qatar, like the country.
Um,
or is that city?
Actually, I misspoke.
Qatar.
See, you're getting me confused.
That's a Middle Eastern country.
Dakar Rally, not Qatar. Dakar.
I was saying
Dakar.
Qatar with a K, which is a city in the Middle East, I think.
It's a country. It starts with a Q.
Shut up. I don't know. I'm not a geologist. I'm talking about video games here.
And I am too. There's the Dakar
I'm
Rally, which is a famous long distance rally, and supposedly the stages is almost like a gigantic open world where you have to map out your point and then travel that way. So I'm intrigued by that because I haven't ever played a game like that before in a rally game.
That does sound cool though.
Huh.
And apparently I don't know my countries. I need to watch the Animaniacs where they're touching all the...
Yeah, Qatar is a country.
Where's it located? What's it next to? It's in the Middle East though, right?
Yes, like southern Middle East, kind of close to Saudi Arabia, I think.
Okay.
It's a small country.
Yeah, so I haven't been playing too many games recently. And like most of you know, I've been dealing with cancer. I'm going through chemotherapy. And I'll tell you what, you might have like one day, like when you first start your chemo treatment, that you're kind of like, I feel sick, but I can play games. And usually I result to my 3DS at that point because I can kind of just lay there and play. But this is
round 3. You did.
Round 3. I'm 75%. My next round in a week actually will be my last. So thank God. But it really takes everything out of you. So I haven't played too much. I've played a few. Last show I said I was playing Far Cry 5. Mm-hmm. I kind of put that down because of this, but then I thought, I'd like to try one of the other Far Cries and see how because really I only dabbled with 1.
Okay.
On a port for the 360, like when 360 came out. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to try Primal. So I tried Far Cry Primal. It was really cool. I wasn't as hooked in the story, but it's one of the 3 pillar Ubisoft games to where Watch Dogs, Far Cry, and Assassin's Creed have like the same gameplay, just slightly modded. and after a while you kind of, it's fun, but you're just doing the same thing over and over and over. And so I put it down, started getting sick. I'm still playing Pokemon Blue because that's just my go-to. I literally, I started playing it 20 years ago, and I don't think I'll ever stop playing it.
There's a YouTube video I thought I saw about Pokemon Blue. I haven't watched it yet because I haven't had time to, but it had something to do with a guy only using Macarp and beating the game.
It was Ditto.
Oh, was it Ditto?
It was Ditto.
No, I thought there might be another one where it's only Ditto, but I swear it's Macarp, the fish. Yeah, I swear it's... I don't.
Well, remember we had Silver and we had that super overpowered, like a level 100 Poliwrath, and everybody else was like 40. And you would say, you would hit it, and it would even be a move that's not supposed to be like effective.
Okay, so
and he would still like wipe it out.
So it's okay. So he just like max levels of Magikarp.
And then what else was I playing? Oh, so I had to put it down yesterday because it's been driving me insane. So right at the beginning of the month, which we're still very much in this, or no, right at the end of last month, the remaster for Shenmue 1 and 2 came out.
Yes.
And I've always wanted to play Shenmue. I never have.
Third one's coming out.
Did you like it?
Kinda. And it's a hard kinda. Leaning more towards no, but I really appreciate it. That's the difference. Is
Okay,
like
so what's wrong with it?
So it is so playing it is Yakuza on the Dreamcast.
Okay.
So this game was I've only played, so I didn't play Shenmue 2. I've only been playing Shenmue 1.
Okay.
It takes place in 80s Japan. So does the early Yakuzas, and Yakuza starts in the 80s and makes its way up to current time.
Wait, is it Yakuza or Yakuza?
I thought it was Yakuza.
I think it's tomato.
I don't know.
Okay.
I say potato.
So so think of the Dreamcast coming out and Shenmue coming out, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't even have PS2 yet. PS2 is a year down the road. And games I think that are on its level for PS2 probably don't come out till even later in the console. Probably a year or two into the console you start seeing this. And it's, I hate using the word open world. It's like open level. So you're putting a story. It's like a cheesy kung fu, like somebody kills your dad in front of you over some sort of like medallion mirror thing.
Okay.
And you're
so
like,
it's
okay.
like a...
And then,
okay.
but everything's so open. It's like, so you start and you have like this journal. So if I talk to you and you give me a piece of information, and you're like, oh, cool, I've written down, and you can reference that. But then, this person will be like, you should really go talk to that person. And you have no idea where they are. You have to like find, you have to like investigate to find everything.
Well, that makes it more lifelike, more.
Not when it's an open level and there's like 20 houses and nobody must be home. Oh, I don't know why I'm bugging them. And you're like, why am I in this city?
That's when the little hint bubble should pop up and she'd be like, oh, maybe you should take a nap and wait for them to come home.
Oh, by the way, too, apparently everybody in rural Japan in the 80s go to bed at 6 o'clock at night because the characters start walking home and they won't talk to you. And you're like, why? Why are you doing? And then there's some guy on the street corner that's like, why are you out so late? And you're like, what's going on? So then you had to go back home, sleep in your little cot of a bed, and then you come back out at 8:30 in the morning.
So the game doesn't want you to bug the people at their homes. They want you to go bug the people while they're working.
Correct.
Okay, so there's your mission.
It's
That's
like
what you
going
gotta
to the
do.
mall.
You've figured out you got 20 homes. You got 20 people to go find their workplace. They're all probably like at some workshop or.
It's not a bad story. Like I said, it's a fun, cheesy.
It's PlayStation 4?
PlayStation 4, Xbox One.
Okay.
So
I do want to get it.
It's
Well,
it's
when it's
I
on
think
sale.
it's
When it's on sale.
30. I think it's $30 full price.
I'll pay like 10, maybe.
I got it through Best Buy, so I got 20% off. So I paid like $23 or whatever. So I mean, it's not bad, but it's really frustrating. And then there's no map.
Oh, that's surprising.
So you
Okay.
have to.
Not even like a little mini map in the corner.
You personally have no map. You have to go find a map that's on a wall. Like, and then
It's real life. There's no 7-Eleven to go buy one. You got.
there's no GPS because
You
it's
gotta
1986.
rely on the one cartographer in your whole virtual world. that hopefully,
Photographer.
I hope it's not after 6 p.m.
Oh god, dude! And then the city where I'm like, okay, it is like this weird, like, it's a normal. There's like, there's the fish market, there's a drugstore, there's a Chinese restaurant, and like I had to do, like, according to nowadays standards, it seems so like you just don't, there's a taboo thing. So I think the guy who I'm after who killed my father is a Chinese man. So I just go around asking people, hey, where can I talk to Chinese people? And they're like, you've been to that Chinese restaurant down the street? I believe the owner's Chinese. Oh, thanks for the information. I'll go there. And then if you go talk to somebody else, you'll ask the same stupid question over and over and over and over, and they may give you a different answer, or they'll tell you they want to talk to you. They're like, I'm too busy right now. You should come talk to me tomorrow. And then they walk away from you. You're like, So for Dreamcast.
so they make you work for it. It's not that instant.
Well, I mean,
it's not that instant gratification
if
that
they'll
most
talk to
games
you
have.
tomorrow, just take an early nap. Just just
No,
go to bed.
no, because it's not. We all know video games. That's not what they mean. They mean go away. This NPC is not going to talk to you, and it just wasn't. Man, it didn't. Like I said, it was nice to experience it and be like, oh, this is Shenmue. I see where games have been inspired by this. The worst, the voice acting. The voice acting, terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible. And the audio sounds like it's coming out of a PS1 or something, or older. Like a Saturn. The audio sounds muffled. This sounds better. I think of, I know PS2, like Dreamcast is like that weird in between like PS1, Saturn, and PS2 and Xbox. But like, man, it's there's so many, and I think it was done on purpose, and I think it sounds terrible, and everybody's so stale when they talk. And everything feels like you can hear almost like when they hit stop on the thing, because like they'll finish a word and you're
really?
like, yeah, it's instead of almost letting like a word have like reverberation or let it linger a little bit. It wasn't good. And it's funny, on the back of the box too, it'll even say it says fully remastered, and then it says and English and Japanese voiceovers. So that means it's been touched up, but the voices haven't been. And like, it's so misleading reading it.
Yeah.
And it's standard def too still.
What?
Yeah, it's cut off. There's so many misses. I was like, ooh, you guys are just too many corners being cut on this. And this game really could, it looks like it's running on the Dreamcast right now.
It makes you think that the new one is going to be pretty crappy.
Yes. And my biggest beef, and we'll move on, where I really, really started getting frustrated. How we were talking before the show, how you were bouncing in and out of your PlayStation,
Yes.
right? And you lost your save or whatever for your update. So I do that a lot.
So mad.
I do that too, to where, if I want to go look up where maybe I can't find something, like I'm looking for an item, I'll jump on YouTube app on Xbox and then go back in, or I'll take a lunch break, save, pop out. I would pop out, go into YouTube or Netflix or whatever it was, back out, go back in the Shenmue, and then it would crash my console.
What?
Not the game. The console would just like you'd hear it turn on, wouldn't see it, and then it'd and then and my Xbox One S would turn off. And I'm not playing on the X because it's not an enhanced game either, and that drives me nuts. Every new game should be enhanced. It's one of the, I'm so irritated by this game. So I'm done. I think I'm done with show. I'm moving on.
Let's move on so you don't get any angrier.
Well, let's see. I have actually, since the last video, I've just been playing nothing but Fallout 3, trying to get all those achievements. I don't have all the achievements.
I was really happy when you text me the other day and you're like, got the Nuka-Cola. You're like, that was so easy. I was like, told ya.
Well, when I got all the side missions out of the way. I'm completely done with the side missions that aren't
DLC.
like DLC.
Those are pain.
And I was like, okay, Spider-Man comes out in 2 days. I have to get all these Nuka-Cola Quantums. So I just pulled up a list of where I can find them. I was like, okay, I got to fast travel to there.
Steal.
Yeah, and then I got down to, I only needed 5 more. And then so I'm just going straight down the list. And so I get down to the next one, and it says, in this location there's 5. I was like, that's perfect. That's all I need. So I literally fast travel. It was a
Proud of you.
It was a Nuka-Cola truck, just abandoned on the side of the road.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I hop in, grab all 5, and that was it.
I really wanted to, and it didn't happen. I have most of the achievements on because it matters.
That's why you probably need to talk to all those people in that game to get that platinum achievement.
I don't want to talk to you today.
They want to make sure that you are fully playing the game, that you are immersed in that Japanese culture.
I don't. Which is funny because I've been really sick, so I've been watching a lot of TV, and I've been watching this guy from England who's been living, he's a teacher in Japan, he's been like vlogging, living in Japan. I'm just like, what a nice place. Just not in the 80s. Or rural. But I wanted to get all the achievements in Fallout 3 and then decorate, because I blew up Megaton. And I wanted to decorate my Tenpenny Tower. And then I killed Tenpenny and let the ghouls live there, because now they abide by me. And so, because I'm corrupt. I'm a merc. What do you want? They paid me more, and I got a mask. And then I wanted to, put, a bunch of, Coke bottles, decorate it and be like, I am done with this game forever until I replay it on PC. That's the only way I'm going to play it again.
Why?
Because you can mod it. Duh.
Oh,
you got to put a vertibird.
Okay,
you got to take out the bomb, add a megaton, and put in a vertibird landing. It's my dream.
That's why Pro Evolution's so good, is the modding.
All right.
So once I played Fallout up until Spider-Man came out, and I just started playing Spider-Man yesterday. I'm maybe put in an hour and a half, 2 hours.
So should we just go right in that? 'Cause that's going to be our first topic. So now that I'm done whining and crying at Shinmu, I have not played Spider-Man yet, unfortunately. Just once again, being sick, I've been able to... I pre-ordered the console, which I've been saying for a while, and I know a few other people have been. It's out and exists, and a store's holding it for me, and I'm going to pick it up tomorrow, and then I'm going to play the game. It's going to be amazing. And I'm hoping that it's better than our Sega Genesis version that we grew up with. Which
was fun. It was
hard.
It was hard.
I have a very...
it was hard.
It's amazing Spider-Man, I think. But it holds dear to me, that yellow cover. And
yeah, that one was hard, and it was fun.
So
this one is...
You guys had that one when... Growing up, for me, it was Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation 2.
Oh, that game's amazing.
When the movie came out.
That game is... other than this one I've heard, is the best Spider-Man game. Because of the...
Yeah, I've heard that
because
too.
Of the pizza running.
Pizza running.
And the web slinging. Now, I'm just going to throw out one question. I'm going to let you guys talk about it. All right?
Uh-huh.
Spoiler-free, we're not going to go into details. We're just going to talk about the game. But so this is one of Sony's big games this year. Other two being Detroit and God of War. Is this game better than those? I don't. It doesn't seem like it is.
I haven't played God of War. I've played Detroit. I think Spider-Man's way better than Detroit.
Even story wise.
I don't know yet.
Fair.
As far as gameplay wise, I've enjoyed Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is a game, and that's nothing against Detroit. Detroit is a novel. You know.
It is, yeah. I don't think as far as story wise, I think Spider-Man could possibly get close. They're
just different.
Yeah, it's just different.
They are very different.
They're very different, so it's kind of hard to compare. But
you've played all of them now.
Yes.
I felt more excited about turning on the PlayStation more for Spider-Man than I did Detroit.
Well, Spider-Man has that little kid. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
when I see the Spider-Man game, all I think about is the animated series growing up. That's all. And I know they're like super like they don't even look alike, but when I close my eyes and I think Spider-Man, I always see the animated series and that video, the Genesis game.
His little. When you play, I really hope you feel as satisfied as what we both do about just
web slinging
through a city. It is just.
Is it easy?
Some parts, yeah. Other parts.
It took me a while until
to get the hang of it, because there's some parts that are really super easy that you can get really repetitive, so you can just start really just flying through the city. It is just super satisfying.
Now
it is so satisfying.
So I have played the 3 games you were talking about.
Okay.
I am having more fun playing Spider-Man than I have Detroit and God of War.
Okay, I've heard more people praise God of War because I've seen this comment. This is why I asked you guys. I've seen this comment come up a lot online since Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are saying that God of War was a better experience. Not that once again they're all different. They're very different games.
They are. And this, not to take away from God of War, because it was a very good game. It probably is the best gameplay-wise.
I think it's more akin to what I think a majority of people like, too. Not everybody wants to be a superhero, but Kratos is like a bad dude, and that hammer is, satisfying.
Now, I do have a question for you that might maybe influence how people might have viewed the games. God of War, dark story game.
Yeah.
Batman, the Arkham series, kind of a dark story game.
Mm-hmm.
The Spider-Man game, it's very kind of lighthearted. There's a lot of jokes.
Spider-Man.
That is Spider-Man, though. If it was a darker Spider-Man game, would it be?
Yeah. No, I think so.
I like the and this is a clip I saw. And I wouldn't consider this a spoiler, but if you're Spider-Man, you're actually walking the street corner, people are like, "Hey, Spidey!" and they're like, high five. And I was like, "Man, that's awesome!"
Yeah, you can do that.
Versus like you're saying with Batman. Batman's so like bleak and dark, but that's also. Is there a light Batman other than Adam West?
No, I don't think so.
Adam West was the only one that was kind of like happy and groovy, but it fit that time period.
Yeah, it did. Actually, when I was walking the streets as Spider-Man, and I saw like a little icon above some guy's head. I was like, "Oh, can I talk to this guy? Is he gonna give me a mission?" So I pressed the button. He's like, "Hey, Spidey," and I high-fived. I was like, "What?" And then I got like 5 experience points for doing it.
How's the I've heard this from a few people too. Jameson has like a radio or a podcast. They're in it, and I guess it actually reacts to like what you're doing. How is that? Is that pretty cool?
I've enjoyed listening to it so far.
Can you turn it off? Is it optional?
I don't think you can turn it off, but
I don't like that.
But it's not a constant thing.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not
I'm
a
okay with
constant
that.
thing. And if you happen to do something else where somebody else is talking, for me, I actually noticed it actually cut off the Jameson. Like the Jameson audio stopped.
Like it didn't interrupt anything.
And whatever audio was coming next took over.
So I'm kind of glad that I'm sitting here asking this because I think it makes for good YouTube. But how about, once again, don't tell me what they are. I don't think they want to know what they are either. But do we have a good plethora of costumes? Because they have different abilities and stuff too.
Yeah, I think there's over 20. There's like 20, 25, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. 20.
And obviously you have to unlock them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are the villains so far?
I've had 2 boss villains. I've kind of figured out. It looks like the main villain's going to be kind of a newer villain, which I really didn't know.
Mr. Negative?
Yeah, which I didn't really know.
Mr. Negative came out.
He's fairly new.
Yeah, he came out after the animated series in one of the comics.
He's
like late. He's like 99. I think he came out. Was his like first debut in the comics? Which
I haven't really followed Spider-Man, any of the new stuff. I'm more of the old Spider-Man stuff. I know those villains. So having this new villain was kind of refreshing to me, to have actually somebody new to fight.
Yeah.
I picked him out in the game about the first time I saw him.
Yeah.
And if I think it's who you're talking about, because Robbie's a lot further than I am, but just talking to him before the podcast happened, I think I might know what he's talking about.
Okay, but so far like they're good villains and that they work well in the story, and it doesn't seem like overloading or like too much or not enough.
I think it's good.
Like a good balance. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't gotten far. I've only seen one villain so far, and he's like right in the beginning of the game.
Okay. How's playing as Peter Parker?
What do you mean?
Like not Spider-Man, but Peter Parker.
Like sometimes, and sometimes in these superhero games, like you'll actually be, like when the Hulk games, I think you're like Bruce Banner walking around, and you're like, why am I just walking around this lab?
You actually rarely play as Peter Parker. You mainly play as Spider-Man. The times you do play as Peter Parker, it's really to get through to point A to point B to get a cutscene. You actually
okay. That's
the more gameplay you actually have. A small spoiler is with MJ.
Yeah, and I knew that too.
I didn't know if you knew that or not.
It's fine. I actually don't mind spoilers too much.
And playing as MJ in that one mission was that was a nice change.
Yeah,
really?
I enjoyed that. Yeah.
Most people that I was reading and stuff online were actually knocking it.
Really?
I enjoyed it.
They're saying it felt exactly like Peter and it just felt baked in.
It was nothing like Peter because really,
like the stuff
Peter is point A to point B. MJ was kind of like that, but with some minor tweaks to it, and there was a puzzle also involved.
Oh, I hate puzzles. There's no getting around puzzles.
The puzzle with the statue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny is
keep looking at
not
that
having.
It was so easy.
Well, I had Leslie sitting next to me. Sometimes she talks.
I knew right away what I was going to be doing with that statue.
Well, no. I knew what I was doing with it, but you had to put it like in certain positions. I was like, wait, how was the hand again? And I had to go back and look at it.
You didn't have to do this. It was so easy.
Maybe I.
It was spoon fed for you.
It was late. I was tired.
You didn't really have to look at the picture.
I was tired.
I've actually I watched this whole thing on like Spider-Man video games, and I've been getting really excited for it. So I'm really excited to play it. Hopefully, it's coming out.
I hope you enjoy it. I enjoy it.
And then too, what was really weird though is it's giving me this weird thing that I want to start playing the Arkham series. I was staring at because I have the entire. I haven't played any of the new Batman games, so
I've played all of them. I love them so much.
You like Blackgate? Oh, wait, you are
the
Vita.
That's the only one.
I always say that, and people are like, "What?" I'm a jerk.
I own it. I've gotten like halfway through it, but then I hit some part that I couldn't get past, and I was like,
I want to.
isn't fun enough.
I have the entire. I'm that guy who buys the entire series and then I play one of them. I'm like, oh, that game sucks, and then not play any of them.
All the console ones.
Dude, we are like insane about chronological, and the thought of like not having a series of games bothers me. Like when Halo 5 came out, I had played 1, multiplayer 2, or like some of 1, multiplayer 2, and then like a teeny bit of 3, and I was like, I'm done with this. And then when I got 5, I'm like, I have to get the Master Chief Collection because there's all of them. And then I refuse. I still haven't played 5 because I haven't finished Master Chief.
But
That's. But I have no reason to.
That's also my beef with Witcher 3 is I want to play Witcher 1. Everybody's like, you don't need to play. I'm like, yes, I do.
I'm the same way.
And then I want to read the books too, which the authors even said, look, it's like different. They
It
exist in the
is.
same world, but they're
I've started reading them,
and that's where I'm getting like a little crazy about Cyberpunk, which we'll get into because there's a tabletop, Cyberpunk 2020. So, but we can get in that. So either way, sounds like Spider-Man is awesome. I'm excited. Now, one of the things I wanted to bring up, and this is a really weird. So you guys know that THQ became defunct a few years ago, right? They went out of business, sold all their assets to, a bunch of different companies.
I forgot.
You're fine.
Well, the only reason I even knew what THQ was because of
GBA. Think about it.
GBA.
Okay, so Game Boy Advance.
Oh.
Think about it. Remember being a kid, you go into Target or wherever, Best Buy, and you see all the GBA games, and literally every other game would be a THQ game. Like all the cartoon games were all THQ.
I was reading about THQ getting ready for today.
I love them so much.
They did almost every single Nintendo game, or not Nintendo, Nickelodeon game.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of the Cartoon Network games too were also. But they did a lot of games. Like a lot of games you wouldn't even think.
Yeah, they did a
wrestling.
bunch.
They did all the wrestling games.
That's
until
that's
2K
the
got
only
'em.
reason I knew what THQ was.
So Nordic Games, who did originally, I think the biggest title was like Darksiders, and kind of still is. They bought them, and like Deep Silver bought a lot of their assets, but Nordic bought the right name of THQ, and then changed their company name to THQ Nordic. Why would you put a dead company's name in front of your company? Beyond me.
Probably recognition.
Because they were still recognized as a good publisher, even though they were like that mid-tier kind of thing, especially for the PS2 era.
Mm-hmm.
But they have been doing this thing to where they are literally continually going around buying up dead properties. I mean, like over and over. They just bought the big one, literally that happened just a few days ago was Kingdom of Amalur, or Kingdom of Amalur, which was, I think it's EA. I think it was an old dead EA title then they got sold to THQ or something. But basically, it's been dead. It has a cult following that people love, but like, I'm thinking, who's asking for this? And then also, like the other day, they bought also Time Splitters, which I'm really excited for. I loved playing Time Splitters.
I think I played.
It was the same guys that did Battlefront, the original Battlefront.
I don't know if I'm thinking of the same game
So,
as you.
the question I posed to you guys when I thought of thinking of THQ Nordic is, what games do we want to come back? What games would we, in some way, shape, or form, love to see? And I made a quick list here. I don't know if you guys have a list.
Former THQ games, right?
No, just...
Oh.
No, I'm just saying just games.
Oh, I thought we were just talking about like THQ games that we hope Nordic brings back.
I don't care who does it. I mean, so here's my quick list, and I'm actually glad you're just a little bit more specific because we'll actually probably get some cool rare titles.
Okay,
out of it.
so I actually did. I have.
You want to do your...
I did. I did ones that I hope THQ Nordic does, like former THQ games, and then I hoped that I made another list of games that I hope that we just they don't make them anymore, and I hope they like get not remastered, but someone just comes up and they just revamp the series.
Yeah, and so
I don't know if that's what you meant.
I was going to do both because we're also going to talk about a retro console here too. And we're going to kind of pair everything together here.
Okay.
So I guess I'll start. So my comebacks, my number one for a comeback, I put WWE games, and from like No Mercy and.
Correct.
So, but there's a two stance on this. Is I would love one just. I'm really hoping this year is really good. It looks some of the things they've promised for this year, but I hear it every year, and I feel let down. But I would really love two different studios buy 2K, and give me an arcade like WrestleMania 2000 or No Mercy, like a cartoonish.
Didn't they come out with like a
All Stars? It's not the same. That was more like I felt like I should have been at an arcade. Playing All Stars. I mean, All Stars was cool. No, I want No Mercy.
You want something like WWE Legends?
I actually didn't play Legends.
Legends of
I
Wrestling.
I own it.
No, not Legends of Wrestling.
Legends of WrestleMania. That's what the game's
Legends
called.
of WrestleMania.
I own it. I haven't played it though.
Okay, that was actually enjoyable, but
I heard that was a great game.
1,000 pointed it. I loved it that much.
That what?
I 1,000 pointed that game.
Oh, did you really?
On the 360.
Dang, yep. I didn't know that. So I want that. I'm number 2 is Time Splitters, which is probably going to happen now that THQ Nordic bought Time Splitters. So I'm super excited because Time Splitters has this big nostalgia for me because when I was in high school, you guys remember Matt, who I would hang out with, Matt Nubrega. Father Matt Nubrega, who actually, a song on the album that I wrote, he actually helped me write the riff back in high school. But he's a priest now over in Spain. But we used to...
Is that the guy that drove the race car?
No. I have a friend that drives a race car and has a Daytona tattoo.
There was he used to...
Oh, no. That's the guy who's the youth pastor at the church. I'm thinking of the guy who used to play in the band with.
Oh, okay.
He used to be Matt, Pat, and I. We used to come over and play.
Well, I definitely know Pat, but I think I might have been gone for Matt.
No. Oh, maybe actually. Yeah, because I was a junior in high school.
Yeah, I was...
oh, yeah, that's right. You were gone.
Yeah, I was in Idaho, I think.
But we would literally every day after school, we would go to his house in Three Oaks. And then we would like take apart his living room. Like literally, we'd move all the furniture out, and then we'd jam for like an hour or two. And his mom would come home, and then we put and she knew we went the second chance at the door off because we didn't want to bug her.
Yeah.
And so we would put the living room back, and she would start making us like just stupid kid food like Hot Pockets and Dr. Pepper. Like my love is because of Miss Nubrega is Dr. Pepper. And then we would go in his room and we'd play Battlefront 2 or Time Splitters, literally over and over and over.
God, that Battlefront 2.
I could never get tired
Isn't
of
it
Battlefront
amazing?
2.
I know. And not the new one. And here's my next one, all right? It says Star Wars. Give me a good Star Wars game. I am sick and tired of playing these, and they're fine. They're fun, whatever. But I'm not playing Battlefront. Stop it. They're not.
I was a fan of...
Give me KOTOR. Give me another KOTOR. Give me something that's good and has a story. It's Star Wars. They have stories. They're good. You can't screw it up. Put a lightsaber in their hand.
I enjoyed The Force Unleashed. I thought that was kind of cool.
That was good.
It's not canon. Doesn't count.
Well, absolutely. Like, everything became non-canon when Disney took over.
I'm not getting into this. I hate it. So, few other quick ones. Primal Rage.
That was on my list.
And I mean to steal one from you, but
that's okay.
Primal Rage is...
That was fun.
Man, God, it's just so many memories with it. I looked up, actually, because I didn't remember who owns it.
I thought it was Acclaim that did it.
And Time Warner.
Oh.
Yeah. and that's, well, at least that's who did at the time. So Time Warner and Acclaim basically put out the game. I have no idea who that game's gone. I hate to say it, but
Yeah.
I really would love to see. Once again, they're not dormant, but I really like Silent Hill. Silent Hill 2 is getting like another. It's coming out on current consoles.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I think it's getting a patch and it's going to be re-released again.
Yep.
Which I'm really excited. Give me a new one. With Matt and Pat, and you'll remember this. Matt and Pat would come over and play something like 4, and man, we'd just be terrified out of our minds and stay up all night. And I want to see I want to see Resistance come back. I don't want it to be though Insomniac, because they're doing great things like Spider-Man and Sunset Overdrive. But Sony owns this property. Give it to somebody else, and it's such a cool like warped future World War II.
I've only played I own all 3, plus the Vita. I've only played the first one, but I really liked the first one.
I love the first one. I didn't finish it, but I really like it.
The final boss was really hard.
And then my last one for this would be the Eternal Darkness series, which was supposed to actually get the same publisher or developer started a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe or something like that to have a similar type of game put out, and they just didn't get enough funding. And then Nintendo owns Eternal Darkness, though, technically, because they gave that studio the.
They're doing nothing but Mario and Zelda.
Yeah, but here's another Nintendo license. Like, oh, guys, here's another one. I didn't even put on my list. Here's another Nintendo license that is sitting that if modernized could be amazing.
Yes.
And Eternal Darkness was really cool because it would screw with you. Mm-hmm. So you can't port this game as a remaster, because if the GameCube screen comes up, you're like, why would it be doing that? Mm-hmm. Versus when you were playing on GameCube, you're like, oh, my GameCube reset. Why would it? Oh, and all of a sudden it jumps back to your game and these skull monsters are hacking at you. And like it like put something on Switch. And I want Nintendo to do it because they have the money and they have the talent.
Yeah.
Put something on Switch that's cool. Where all of a sudden, like, you'll be playing, and then for no reason, like, your Joy-Con starts vibrating, really, and you're like, what the, like, or you feel like, how it has the HD rumble thing where it's like you can feel the ice cubes kind of, like, falling into the...
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're playing, it feels like somebody dropped an ice cube in your... like, all of a sudden the weight changes, and you're like, whoa. Like, let's find new ways, like, psychological thrillers to screw with you. I think it'd be awesome.
Now, on my list, I actually put Eternal Darkness, as it was actually the first one I thought of, because for that same reason, you can't really just like kind of move it over, because everyone who's played it already knows all the tricks, and like you said, the GameCube screen would pop up.
It would have to be under like a different name.
But
it could just be a new, because it was Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem. It can be Eternal Darkness blank. Switch.
If I would like to see someone either do the same game or have the same concept, just modernize it, like you were saying.
Well, you wanna shout out your list real quick for like dormant.
Well, would it be as enjoyable though? Like you said, like when you would see the.
I'm saying a new Eternal Darkness game.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be GameCube Eternal Darkness being ported to Switch. It would be Eternal Darkness 2018.
Well, I understand, but the little nostalgia things that you're commenting about, if they came out with something similar,
you're expecting it at that point.
You're already expecting it. It takes the
versus hiding it and then it becoming.
Yeah.
I would like that if they hid all that stuff. They just
made a thriller, and then all of a sudden you realize it was a psychological thriller.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
So should I say just dormant games or THQ games as well? I made 2 lists.
Well, go ahead.
Okay.
Shoot through them.
Shoot through them, yeah.
The THQ games I'd like to see, not necessarily, but I would like to see maybe, like you said, the WCW games, because they did the WCW games on 64 as well.
Yeah, it was the same. It was the same team. And
I'd like to
it's
see.
It's funny how both teams flip flopped at that point too, which was hilarious.
I would like to see something where they take like the same rosters and like the same gameplay feel, just kind of update the game. Like it's the same feel as what it was 20 years ago.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like the same, like, you know, it's almost kind of like you're playing, oh, it's a Legends game, but it's like all the WCW guys, and it has the same feel as like the Nitro game.
But the reason you can't do this is because of licensing.
Licensing, but I'll actually give you guys, because there's an old game, style wrestling game that just came out now, Fire Pro Wrestling World.
And they have all the New Japan guys in it.
I've
the
heard about
PlayStation
it.
4 one does. The PC one has not come out yet for some sort of issue they have going on with it. But that one has always been a heavily modded game, and with your idea, you can easily do that with that game and almost have it almost like an old arcadic style wrestling game.
Fire Pro Wrestling?
Fire Pro Wrestling World, yeah. I've thought about buying it just for that nostalgia feel that you guys were talking about.
But the thing I don't, that's always kept me away from it, is that it's like, it feels isometric, like it's isometrical versus it being third person, you know? Like you're viewing a wrestling match versus like you're God, you know, like God mode up here.
Yeah.
I don't care. I know that's so nitpicky. I'm sure it's fun. I played one of the old Fire Pros on GBA like years ago, and it was awesome, but I don't know. It didn't, and maybe that's not a good takeaway. But I was excited to see it, but I wasn't excited to be like, oh, I got to go buy it and play it.
Well, I wasn't. I mean, I was excited for it. I'll probably wait to get it on sale, or I'll probably wait to definitely have
Me too.
the New Japan update, at least on the PC version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually would, in that sense, might actually buy it on PC because modding.
Which I think you can actually mod on the PlayStation 4 one too. It's almost kind of like how with the custom creations through the WWE games, where you can actually download them. I think you can do it that way.
Why?
But you can also custom create within the game, which they have a heavily customizable.
Small side note to the wrestling games. Let me put my music in the game. I hate it. They took it out. Last gen, I could do it.
Yeah,
On 360 and PS3, on almost all of them. And dude, I would spend like $100 on iTunes because they have to be downloaded.
Yeah.
And dude, I'd put them on the console, and I could have 80s Big Boss Man come out with his 80s music.
Yep.
And why is that a problem now? And it makes me not want to download
80s
characters.
Boss Man in it now, so you don't have that issue.
Thanks, Robbie.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Dormant games. I actually two out of the 5 I wrote down. You actually hit.
Aha!
Eternal Darkness and Silent Hill. Give me a good Silent Hill game.
You know what's funny? He hit 2 of mine, and they're not those 2 games.
Oh, really?
I'm the wiener.
So the 3. So I tried to think of dormant games that I remember them being part of my childhood. The first was Prince of Persia. Not like the original like NES ones, but the ones on PS2.
The Sands of Time series.
Yeah, I love the Sands of Time series.
Yeah, you did. I remember you playing that a lot.
I loved them so much that when they released like number 2 and 3 on the PSP, I was like, well, I gotta get it. And I played them, and it was fun.
I'm glad they were fun.
Yay!
Sleeping Dogs. It's a newer game, but like a second one isn't coming out.
It's because it's wow, what are they called? That studio closed.
I know, it's so depressing.
Yeah, they tried to make they made that game. They had concept for 2. They did they started making an online one and ran out of money and closed them.
Yeah, so that's Sleeping Dogs. If I just love a game,
Sleeping Dogs is awesome.
That's just one where like once you beat it, I'm like, oh man, I have the achievements.
Keep going.
That was one of the few games where once I beat it, I had to 1,000 point it.
Yeah, because you might as well, because you're only a few away at that point. There's a few games I've been.
And like I was so excited for a second one, and now it's not. But
come on, Square.
I went on today to confirm that there wasn't a second one.
There's not.
They are making a movie, so I'm excited about that.
Come on. Let's be real.
no,
Every time we hype ourselves up, it's always garbage.
Oh, I like the main actor.
Who is it?
He's like a I can't think of his name, but he's in all the
It's gonna be all Chinese.
the main guy is like a Chinese guy who I absolutely love. Like I love all his movies. He does a lot of kung fu movies, but he's awesome. But the director is
Jackie Chan?
no he has
I
like
do
he
like
has
Jackie
like
Chan,
an
though.
American sounding name, but he's in all the they're on Netflix.
Just let John Woo make it, and let's be done.
Yeah.
The name
That dude makes
the,
like the greatest
name will
like
come to
Chinese
me.
action movies
What
like I've ever from like the
Netflix
80s.
show?
it's Ip Man.
Ip Man.
Yeah.
I know
love
of it,
those.
but I've never.
1 and 2, number 2, Ip Man 2 is probably one of my favorite movies ever.
Really?
As soon as back when
You should buy me a pizza,
back,
and then we can watch it.
back when Netflix did like the stars instead of the thumbs up, thumbs down thing.
Yeah.
As soon as I finished that movie, 5 stars. I was like,
Seal of
Yes.
approval by Kyle.
I loved it, and they're all based on true stories.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So this Ip Man guy, evidently he's the guy that taught Bruce Lee kung fu, and it's all about like his life.
Okay.
So it takes place like all 3 movies kind of take place
I'll
right after
have
World
to
War
watch
II.
them now
You know this
because
for
I've
my-
always seen the previews for them on
Yeah.
Netflix, but
I got like halfway through number 3. Like Leslie went out to dinner with her girlfriends. I was like, "Ooh, 3rd one's on Netflix." I get halfway through, and then Leslie comes home. She's watching it with me. She's like, "What is this? This is pretty good. Can I watch it with you?" I was like, "Okay, but you might want to watch the first 2." And then I never finished the 3rd one.
Because
and
you went back.
I haven't even watched the first 2. with Leslie yet.
you might as well just finish it.
You know what this sounds like to me, though? I'm going to be really honest with you. I was so excited for the new Tomb Raider movie.
Yeah.
Because you actually have a credible actress. You have
When did that came out? Like what? A few months ago?
early this year. I saw it in theaters. I was beyond excited to go see it.
Yeah,
And-
I'd say a few months ago.
And they're like, yeah, it's gonna be based on the game, and it's gonna be like, it's blowing my skirt up, you know. And I'm thinking, man, this is one of my favorite games of all time. If you can just take a part of that story and see that's where it goes wrong. No. You take the story, and what they did is they took a part of the story, which that part was called Lara Croft, and then wrote some garbage around the setting of it.
So they added aliens.
No, that would have made it better.
Oh, okay.
It was
wow.
not good. Like if all right, it's like the new Star Wars movies.
Oh, come on.
What is it?
What's wrong with the Star? Oh, you
Well,
don't like all the new Star Wars movies.
I love Solo.
Haven't seen it yet.
That's amazing.
Really?
Do you
I
know
haven't
what? Do
seen
you know what Solo? I'm gonna make one point.
Is it out on DVD?
Should be soon.
13th or 15th.
Should be
It's
real
gonna be
soon.
like super soon.
Oh, okay. When it comes out on DVD, I'll see it.
So okay, so I'm just gonna say this, and we'll move on. The only and I love Solo. It was amazing. The only thing it really did was solidify that Clone Wars animated series and Rebels is canon. That's it, and move on. That's it. There's too many, and it had little loose ends, and they're all tied up now.
One last game, the Condemned 1 and 2.
Ooh, I didn't even think of that. Man,
I love those games.
I told you that's where I get my shovel fighter thing from, right?
Yeah.
Because I had to quick pick up a shovel and beat somebody with it.
I forgot about
It's
that.
my Triple H hammer. Like,
I
forgot about
I
that.
loved
Game's
those games.
terrifying.
I forget which one it was, but I could only play it for like a half hour at a time just because I was so scared to play it.
dude, I'm a big scaredy cat. I really don't like playing a lot of horror games, but dude, sometimes the thrill, like you're like, ah, like is exciting.
Just to add on with that, I love playing like scary games, but at the same time, I can be a big scaredy cat too. I bought Resident Evil 7 on PlayStation because I was like, oh, it's VR. I want to play it in VR. I'm too scared to play it.
Just buy it on Xbox.
I haven't played it just because I don't want to be scared in VR.
We need to record that. We need to make him play it in VR. We need to record that.
That is very, very doable, Kyle. We can all take turns putting the headset on and pissing our pants. What are yours, Robbie? What do you got?
As far as games I wish would
Come back.
Well, as far as the two that you already mentioned, Primal Rage was something near and dear
I
to
don't
my
know
heart.
why we love that game so much. I think it's just a nostalgia.
Well, it's not because we're old. It's that arcade feel.
I'm gonna be 30 in less than a month, which scares me, by the way.
It's not that bad.
It's not.
It's that arcade feel that you don't have that really anymore because it's not in style. But I would love to see more of the arcade ones that we used to play come back. I was at Target and I saw a Street Fighter game that had like all the ones on there, and
there's a part of me that would like to see actual arcades come back, but it's just too hard nowadays.
It's definitely too hard.
You have to be in a big metropolitan area with that has a technology.
We have an arcade in town.
We do. I've never been to it though.
Neither have I.
It's the one that's next to the movie theater. Off of Winkler.
Oh, I drive by one in Estero.
Is there? Where?
I mean, I don't know if like it's.
But they're never. I'm gonna be honest.
It just says arcade. I don't know.
No, that could be one of those like where it's like it's gambling, but it's not gambling. Like you trade
slot machine.
Yeah, where there's like loopholes and stuff. But like, I would love to see. But I would love to see an actual arcade where I can go in and like the new Tekken's there, the new Star Wars flying simulators there, like I don't mind popping $5 into a flying simulator, sit there for 20 minutes and play. That would be worth the experience. But like it's just, especially now that even VR is coming out, like VR is becoming stronger and stronger. It's less and less, and I think that's why I like Primal Rage so much, because of going to Celebration Station and seeing all the older kids fighting over there at Mortal Kombat 3, which I really wanted to play, and realizing that we're gonna take second best because we were younger and smaller.
I enjoyed Primal Rage more than I did Mortal Kombat 3.
I have more nostalgia for Primal Rage, but I think Mortal Kombat's a better game.
What other games you got?
Yeah,
well, obviously Star Wars, the Battlefront, because I loved playing that one so much.
DICE is like, good, we'll make another.
They got more updates coming with the new game. Hopefully, I heard they got some new modes coming out. Hopefully, it's that. I doubt it, but that was on my list. As far as other games I would love to come back, college football series. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
I loved playing the college football.
It's been, what, 5 years now, man? If you're not going to come out, just give me a remastered. Give me a remaster of the last one, so I can just have it on the PS4. The only reason I turn my PS3 on anymore is for the college football game. Just give me that.
So, okay, for being somebody who's obviously a lot more into sports than what Kyle and I are, would you be upset, let's say NCAA for next year announces a new title, right? But you're not going to have an actual roster. You're just going to have a football team, and, then you can control the stats. Versus
that's how it always was.
Well, that's why they ran into trouble, though, because they started actually using actual likenesses.
Yeah, well, they gotta stop doing that.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's a huge miss. Literally, you can just reskin, Madden with the 200 teams that are on the NCAA or however many there are, and just pop it out, and people will just buy it because they go to school there, or they're alumni from that school.
I love taking my good old Idaho Vandals to the national championship. It's much of a rare dream that will ever be, but
the game's fiction, right? That is a good one.
They
though.
wouldn't even be in if they came out with a new game. They wouldn't even be in it because they're Division 2 now. So I would have to. I would have to custom create it or pick a different team.
Player.
I ain't picking Boise though. I ain't picking Boise. No Boise.
What other games did you have? That's a good one though. Actually, I think that's a lot of people's picks. Actually, NCAA. It's AJ Styles. I saw an interview with a similar thing, and he said
I actually didn't have too many because only because they're either have already done it or they're not going to, or I didn't have that many to go back to do it. I mean, I love those old wrestling games. I don't.
No.
Just give me.
So here, why don't we use the segue a little bit? So
Okay.
there's a new. It's due out in April. There's not a lot of info on it. I mean, there's info on its website. It's called the Poly Mega, and
They gave the price for it. That's for sure.
$250.
$250 to play a bunch of nostalgia
Well,
games.
hold on though.
I didn't like that price.
I think there's more to it though. So there is a lot more customization with this emulation console, to where you can now, let alone there's things that basically it's just a single disc-based console which plays PS1, Sega Saturn, which is like unheard of. The emulating for Sega Saturn that's why you don't see a lot of remasters with Saturn.
It's hard.
Because it's like beyond hard to do. But almost every because what is it, after 20 years your copyright kind of can come up unless you slightly change it.
Yeah, there's certain copyright laws. Some are like, I think, like 20 years. Others are like 50 years.
A lot of like the big corporation like Disney and stuff.
It actually depends on how they're written, and it also depends on death too.
Oh, correct.
It could be 20 years after such and such company has disappeared and died, or that person has passed away.
So it depends on its public domain, basically.
Yeah.
But almost all your 90s, except for Dreamcast, CD-based systems are going to be playable on us, even like the TurboGrafx PC-based, your Neo Geo CD games, which apparently are running way faster because our disc readers run a lot faster now than what they did in the early 90s. And then they sell attachments where you then can put cartridges into it. Yep. Now, one of the things that I watched an interview with one of the engineers, or people who work for the company. Yeah. He didn't say that they were doing it, but he kept bringing up Dreamcast though, like continually. Mm-hmm. Dreamcast copyright is going to be up soon, because it should be up next year, to where a lot of these emulation companies can start. Mm-hmm. And apparently it's like super easy to emulate for, like Sega did the opposite because of all the issues they had with Saturn. Now, this being said, one of the big things I like about it though too is the fact that I can take Street Fighter 2 on Super NES, pop in this thing, and then download it to the console, which I think is cool. Like, create a library.
Yeah.
My only thing, and I know people are huge retro gamers out there. I'm not, though. No. I like the fact that it up-reses the games to like 1080. It does this motion smoothing to where sometimes when like a 480 game gets pulled out, it almost gets like kind of blocky looking or stretched. It actually smooths it out. It's like a game motioning thing that a lot of things are doing. It also has this particular chip in it too that acts like the consoles. So when the game's going, it's not just emulating it software wise. It's also like there's a small, like you buy the Super Nintendo dock, has a small like Super Nintendo like chip. There's a word, I forget the word for it, but so the game thinks it's running on a Super Nintendo versus it running on just software.
Now, I saw the preview. I just kind of watched through it fast. going off a comment you just said a few seconds ago about putting the game in and it downloading, I think that's going to be a problem.
I think you have to license check it.
That's not my concern. My concern is with them trying to make money.
In the long run.
In the long run, there's only, like you said, there's only a wide. It's kind of a narrow range of their target audience.
Yeah.
Pretty much people around our age and older.
Yeah, 30s and 40s.
How many of those people still have those games?
Well, so there is.
That's I also thought.
In an interview I saw too, is that there was a guy who kept, and it almost bothered me to an extent. He was like, "Well, can I put ROMs? Because there's a USB in the front. Can I put ROMs in and do it?" And he kind of danced around it, but eventually he was like, "Yes, but we don't advocate stealing. That's why we're making."
I don't advocate that either. I'm going to the issue of
just the hardware being
having the hardware downloaded. I mean, why am I buying this $250 box and then having to go hunt for additional games?
Yeah.
Well, I think this is meant for people who are already in this world, and so instead of trying to find a $200 Neo Geo that doesn't really work, you know what I mean? Like,
but I'm going back now to that narrow space. Yeah, that's going to be great for the people who still have those games with their systems that might have worked.
Yeah.
So that's going to be great for them.
Well, they're not really compatible anymore either. Like, it bothers me that my Genesis isn't compatible with my monitor.
Well, I know that they're not compatible, but it's going to be great for, like, you probably still have some of the old games and stuff, and there's select few. But for somebody like me, I didn't hang on to all of that. I'm pretty sure I gave that all to you. And
I have most of our childhood gaming.
For somebody
in crates, literally.
Like somebody like me who enjoyed playing those games, occasionally, who may go out and get this, so I can do that. I have no ability to play that unless I have a place where I can download it, because I'm not going to go hunt for it. I'm not going to go on eBay and if it's not.
Here's my next thing. Have you guys been the 8-Bit Hall of Fame in Bonita?
I have not. I know. I know of it, but what happens if I'm not?
I'm not going to drive to Bonita for like a NES game.
Well, I mean, but think about it. If it's a game you really want to play, you're gonna get it at some means.
Not at starting at $250.
Well, that's awesome.
I don't know.
There's a lot. It sounds like
we're the minority in this, though. We probably wouldn't. And even though I like retro stuff, I'm not a retro. Like, I'm the first one to be like, Genesis. Look at my PS4. Like. And that's why I asked you guys. Let's think of some remasters, because But do you guys like remasters to where, let's say there is that old Genesis game to where, like, we're going to touch it up. It's still going to be the game, but it's going to be 1080. You can play it on your DualShock.
I have purchased one. I have
Shenmue.
Sonic 2 on the phone.
I've heard that is like the best way to play it, actually, because of the company that they're the guys who did.
I loved it on the phone.
It's the same guys who did Sonic Mania. Which have you played Sonic Mania? It is amazing. No. Have you played Sonic Mania?
No, I haven't.
Buy it.
Buy it?
Straight up. You'll play and it's like they take old levels and then like make them new.
Okay.
And I don't mean just like remaster. I mean like they'll take Green Hill Zone from 1 and then make a new Green Hill Zone.
Okay.
And it's awesome. It is so, and literally it is a throwback.
Okay.
Yeah, it is so good.
Wait, so did you make a list of remasters?
I did.
Okay.
It was once again a small. I'm not gonna go on it all day. I'll just shoot through mine real quick.
I'll shoot through mine.
All right. And then we'll touch on, because I know we've been talking for a while now.
Yeah.
This may be our only thing we do today. So my remaster that I really want to see, and it's probably going to happen, is Catherine.
Okay.
Now there
a remaster.
Yeah, the remaster.
It came out PS3.
It's already in 1080 or it's 720.
Okay.
So there is a remaster coming out on PS4 in Japan. And there's a third Catherine.
Oh yeah.
And I'm
you
like,
told me that.
I want it. The Darkness.
Loved.
I want to see. I believe it's on PlayStation now, but I have bad internet. Ni no Kuni 1.
Okay.
I would love to see on PS4. I really would love to see, in some capacity, I know we continue to do this with Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I would love to see remakes or remasters of all of Final Fantasy. Like, I really wish there was a way. I know Steam is, for the most part, and Xbox is doing an excellent job with this, but like, I just want to buy a game and it to stay in the same ecosystem, continually going up, and I'm continually buying the same games over and over and over on PlayStation. It drives me nuts. Like, I think I've literally bought PlayStation or Final Fantasy 1 on disc, and then on PSP, and then I bought the PlayStation 1 version because that PSP version didn't work, so you can play the PlayStation 1 version on your Vita. I've literally rebought the same game and on GBA. You know, like, how many times have I bought Final Fantasy 1? Like, I'm tired. No, just let me buy it. I really want to see that series flourish that way, and I really want to see Heavenly Sword.
Ooh,
And-
I didn't think of that one.
Yeah, but that's a hard one because now, what is the studio? It's not Team Ninja. It's but that studio made Hellblade, and they just got bought by Xbox, and that's a Sony property. Never gonna happen.
Okay. I'll because I don't know how long we've been going. I'll just say 3. I loved Mortal Kombat Armageddon. I would love to see that just kind of redone on. That was like the open world one.
Why not? No. That wasn't the open. Armageddon's the collection of everybody.
They had
Conquest. No.
There's the one with the Shaolin monks.
they had Armageddon. Actually,
No,
I
not
thought had
Shaolin
a
monks.
they had a small story.
Oh, that might be the conquest mode then.
There was a small story in Armageddon. I
Where
think
you,
where
like, you could
could
travel to different worlds and
Yeah.
stuff. I loved that.
Yeah, that was Armageddon. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It was
It's been so long.
it was very short. I think. If that's the right one, I know which one you're thinking. I know which one you're talking about.
Now, they have redone this game on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, but I would like to see it like redone. Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
They did.
Well,
It's out now.
It's yes, but like it's.
You want a remake?
I guess yeah.
That's not it is. It has been remastered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remake then. Then I want to see what
You want to come back?
Yes. What I want to see remastered is the X-Men Legends games.
Yeah, those were really. It's funny because those actually I feel like got really mixed and like kind of weird reviews, but like those games are excellent. At least in my eyes, they were. I love them.
I play number 1. I felt was okay. I loved number 2.
Yeah, 2 is good.
I want it on PS4.
It's not gonna happen. I hate being like that because you just know the licensing issues. You're like, nope.
That was pretty much everything else we've talked about.
My list is really short. We'll just go through it because we've kind of already talked about the games already. Number 1 is college football. If you're not going to make a new one, just give me a remaster of the last one.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not going to happen.
I don't
No.
think they've ever remade a sports game.
No, that's why. That's why.
That's why the wrestling games aren't coming either. There's more sports entertainment.
Back to Star Wars. If you're not gonna give us Battlefront 2, that everybody's been screaming about, just remaster.
No.
On PC, I think they might have.
There's a patch. It's the same patch that I think Microsoft was nice enough. Microsoft is actually, and I mean actually Microsoft, is going through and actually up-resing all the OG Xbox Star Wars games. There's tons of them out right now that look great.
And then a third one, because it's actually a favorite game of mine, with Red Dead 2 coming out, I would like to see Red Dead 1 remastered.
Okay.
Or Red Dead 1, or do you want... what's the first Red Dead game?
Oh, Red Dead Revolver.
Revolver.
Yeah.
Not Revolver.
No,
Redemption.
Redemption.
Yeah.
Okay. which actually, and once I'm going to applaud Xbox again. Xbox themselves have up-res that game. So it's not, it's basically, it's almost like when you take a, 480 DVD, pop it and it scales up to like, 1080 or 2K. It kind of does that. But the games look, like Jade Empire almost looks like an entirely new game playing it.
Really?
It looks really good. I was actually really shocked looking as I'm thinking like, I don't remember, this game looked like crap when it came out.
Was Jade Empire good?
It's okay. It's BioWare.
Oh, okay.
It's BioWare.
Okay.
So, I actually think this will be a good stopping point. We'll talk about. There's going to be more Cyberpunk coming. I'm sure. I know we were going to talk about it, but I'll go down another rabbit hole. So just keep your eyes peeled. Kyle, real quick. This is going to be if you want to get this episode early, how much does that cost on Patreon?
$1.
Dang. I hope this has been worth $1. Robbie, it's been awesome having you here.
It's a pleasure being here.
I'm going to throw this all up for Facebook, YouTube. You guys know all the links. Like it, share it, subscribe it, hit the bell thing like The Undertaker, and it works. So, and, and because he hit the right tier, I want to thank Andrew Belay for being our only patron right now and hitting the high tier of...
He's not the only one. He's the first. He's number one.
No, he's our only right now.
Well, you gotta play it up like he's number one. I mean...
Well, he is number one.
Andrew is number one. He texted me the other day. He was like, got your card. I love it.
Good.
Yeah.
See, he loved it. You could love it too.
See, it's all about you gotta say it the right way. He's not the only one. He's the first one.
But you were the chosen one. All right. Thank you guys. It's been great. It's been super.
Super.
See, we're Gamecast bros.